The move north. That was another nail in the coffin. Another element of the terrible mistake. Your dad died, and Mum got a job teaching at a deaf school in Manchester. Dad had been an officer. In the RAF, it grieves you to admit, not in a smart army regiment. He never flew, so there was no romance to him, but at least he had been an officer. Be honest now. He was compelled to enter the service as a humble aircraftsman. He wasn't ever officer class. He had to work his way up through the ranks, and Lord, that burns you up, doesn't it? Then he died of complications from diabetes, a rather bourgeois, not to say proletarian disease, and you, your mum, and your sister Karina moved north. Karina, for God's sake, what kind of name is that? All very well to say that the Duke of Norfolk has a daughter called Karina. There's a world of difference between saying, "Have you met the Lady Karina Fitzalan Howard?" and "This is Karina Garland." You moved away from Old Harrow and the proximity of them, their tailcoats, top hats, blazers and boaters. You were 12 years old. Slowly you have become infected by a northern accent, not obvious, just a trace, but to your sensitive, highly attuned ears as glaring as a cleft palate. You began to pronounce one and none to rhyme with shone and gone instead of shun and gun. You gently sounded the G's in ringing and singing. At school you even rhyme mud with good and grass with lass. Fair enough, you would be beaten up as a southern puff otherwise. But you have trailed some of that linguistic mud into the house with you. Not that your mum noticed. And then this afternoon happened. She brought some of her deaf kids home for tea this afternoon. After they had gone, you said that, good God, they even signed in a Mancunian accent. You thought it a good joke. Mum bridled and called you a snob. That was the first time the word was ever said openly. It hung in the air like a fart in a tea shop. I pretended not to hear, but we knew that something deep was up, because we both blushed and swallowed. I made a fuss of doing up my shoelaces. She became fascinated by the teapot lid. And I came up and started to write this, and... I've gone into the first person. I have said I. Never mind. All this will be past history soon. Watch out. I'm about to join them. I'm on my way in, and there's nothing they can do to stop me. I'm smarter than they are, and braver and better too. I'm prepared for every paper, and they will not be able to refuse me. But I must be prepared for the wider scholarship, the scholarship that counts, the scholarship of life, if I may be so sententious. I shall add my mother's maiden name of Barson. Why not? They have been doing it for years. I shall be Barson Garland. It has a ring, I think. Damn it, I could triple-barrel myself. Barson Garland. How would that be? A little too much, I think. But Barson Garland I like. It palliates the Ashley, makes it almost tolerable. But firstly, there must come the accent. When I arrive, the accent will be in place, and they will never know. I have my exercises all written out. Don't say good, say gid. Don't say post, say paste. Don't say real, say rail. Don't say go, say gay. Don't say... The outer door to the biology room banged, and Ned looked up to see the top of Ashley's head in the window of the inner door. He slammed the diary shut, pushed it hurriedly back into the bag, and hunched himself quickly over his advanced cell biology, both fists pressed hard against his cheeks, hair flopping down like a thick silk curtain. He was in this attitude of intense study when Barson Garland resumed his place next to him. Ned looked up and smiled. He hoped that the pressure from his fists would explain any heightened flush. "What was all that about?" he whispered. "Nothing of great interest," said Barson Garland. "The headmaster wants me to make the speech day oration." "Bloody hell, Ash, that's completely brilliant." "It's nothing. Nothing." Parson Garland had rhymed the first nothing with frothing, and then quickly corrected himself. Ned tried hard to look as if he hadn't noticed. Half an hour ago, he wouldn't have noticed. His hand moved to Ashley's shoulder in a sudden surge of warmth and friendship. "Bloody proud of you, Ash. Always knew you're a genius." Dr. Sewell's high croak intruded. "If you have absorbed all that information and have nothing better to do than gossip, Madstone, then no doubt you will be able to come forward to the blackboard and label this chloroplast for me." "Righto, sir," Ned sighed cheerfully, and sent Parson Garland a rueful smile over his shoulder as he went up. Parson Garland was not smiling. He was staring at a dried, pressed four-leaf clover on Ned Madstone's stool. The same four-leafed clover that had lain undisturbed between the pages of his private journal for 3 years.